All right, welcome friends. Today's video is a little voiceover for a video of our trip to Kauai, and I have Derek and Kevin with me here. Hi guys.
Hey, how's
Hey,
it?
Jose.
Derek's driving in his
Um,
van coming home from a session. You were out subsurfing today?
yeah, regular surfing, not much wind, and the tide was low, so just chose the best equipment to get me out there as quick as possible and back in.
Yeah.
So,
And then
fun.
Kevin, you said you went out winging a little bit at Diamond Head today?
Oh yeah, secret spot. Don't tell people I'm waiting out there. Come on, we want to keep that low profile.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it was
sorry.
fun.
Don't name any
Yeah, it was
spots.
fun.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, it was good. Was fun. Get out there. Was winging and in on my 1500 helium. The thing is big and just I don't want to ride that ever. And yeah, get out there with my 6 meter F1 was fun. Get up there, get some enough to just with some skill and some wing and a lot of pumping to have fun. So it was a workout. Made it in. Yeah,
Right
made
on.
it in.
We've kind of had a dry spell a little bit for wing foiling here lately, like almost no wind, yeah, the last few weeks. So you really have to look for it, but
Yeah.
um it's good that you were able to get out there. Okay, so I'm gonna
Right, yeah, right. Not much wind.
so about a few weeks ago we went to Kauai for a contest and we thought they would have a race over there. So I'm just gonna roll this video that I have. Yeah, we're hoping to do the race. And the day we got there was Friday, and the wingfoil race was supposed to be Sunday, but then the wind kind of shut off and never happened that race. But at least we got one day of wingfoiling, right?
Right, yeah, that was super fun with the crew.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was at the airport. The Derek's idea was good about getting a U-Haul van. So instead of renting a super expensive rental car in Kauai, we just got a U-Haul van for $20 a day plus mileage. So that worked out really well for all our equipment.
Right, yeah, we,
Yeah.
we didn't need to take things apart and fully deflate whatever. We just could just roll things up and toss it in. So yeah, that was makes sense.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
that was nice. I had a rush going getting my gear and I realized my it was 50 pound and I packed up everything. I just threw everything in there. I luckily had a scale at home. It weighed 70 pounds. Holy shit. So I
Oh,
had to get rid of the mallet, get rid of a lot of things. And I forgot my nozzle, my F1 nozzle, couldn't pump it. Nobody writes F1, but was nice enough. The Kauai boys, they were like, "Oh, I get extra nozzle here, here." They give it to me. I pumped up my wing. He said, "Yeah, you can keep it." So that was nice.
nice.
yeah, yeah, the whole crew over there was super friendly and this was after we landed, we went pretty much straight to this place here on Kauai. That was a beautiful bay with kind of onshore wind, sandy bottom.
That was good. That was Friday morning. That was still the wind was cranking that day. Was
Mhm.
fun.
Yeah,
Was nice. Was had the swell, and we made it happen. But hardly anybody else. We're the one made it like was our own contest out there. We had the whole bay to ourselves.
Well, the guys there on Kauai said that's about as busy as it ever gets there, because with all of us showing up and everybody coming down there.
Yeah, that's the most. I mean, one place. That was mean.
Yeah,
That
there's,
was fun.
mm, yeah. So Koa was the first one to go out, and he he had no trouble getting going on a four. He
Yeah,
had
they
a
was
four.
showing off. Look at that. They was flying, doing air and everything. Look at that.
Yeah.
yeah.
They're ripping out there. Jeez, I'd rather be on the beach watching them.
And there's
Here
Kevin.
I am. That was
Oh
fun.
yeah, some water shots, and then you got yeah. For that spot, unfortunately, is close to the airport, so you couldn't fly a drone. But I mean, if you could have got some great footage over there. The waves are coming in on outside the bay, breaking, in the middle, and then kind of just tapering in. The wind did get light on the further inside, but shucks, with enough experience, you could be able to find those pockets and make your way back out. So super fun.
Yeah, it seemed like it had more wind kind of on the right side of the bay, right? And the left side, when you got close to the wall there, it got really light in some spots.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, was fun, but you could figure it out really quick. Like 15 minutes, you figure out that day already. Like that was my first time surfing there, and basically you just watch Derek. It's watch what he's doing, just follow him. You get to figure out quick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was great. Yeah. A bunch of the local guys, just ripping it up and stuff like that. We did try to go. Yeah, this is a few ways that we just doing the follow cams with Rob and stuff like that.
Yeah. So
yeah,
it's
you're the best on that.
Derek pulling
Derek
out
on
his
camera.
phone and filming while he's winging and stuff.
Freaking guy is a pro. He should
Yeah.
get paid for that.
Yeah, it's amazing how you do that, Derek.
Yeah,
But
just gotta hope you don't get wrapped up when you're flying. But after you do it for a while, then you just kind of figure it out. Super fun, and everybody's stoked on seeing the footage of themselves riding. I mean,
Yeah, that's
even
neat,
when
yeah.
they're wiping up, there's Kev. Even when you're wiping out, everybody's stoked. They were like, "Yeah, I want to see that."
Oh, this spot is mean.
yeah.
This
So
spot
then,
was like,
yeah. So after that, I think we had some lunch and stuff, and then we went to our Airbnb in Kapa'a, and then we ended up going straight to the beach, and there was a bunch of guys out on the water, and you guys were going out, and I was able to fly my drone here, so I was stoked about that. And I said, "You guys go, and I'll film you."
Yeah, they had two kiters out there and two wingers. So I asked the winger, "How do you get out?" He's like, "Go all the way downwind, and then go around and come up, or come in this channel. It's really hard. It's only the experience." So I told Derek. Derek's like, "Let's go straight out, boom, right there." I was like, "Really?" He said, "Go around." The other guy was telling us go around. But this is the roughest, the biggest swell I rode in my life. I had the 6-meter Blue Planet alien wing. My first time ever rode that wing, and it was the first time ever, the biggest swell I surfed in my life, and just took it out, surf maybe like an hour, and I never fell down. Remember I was telling you that?
Yeah,
like I was so scared that I didn't want to fall. It was just too scary. I had my camera to film him in the water. I bought my camera and everything in my pocket. I was gonna sit in the channel and film him. The swell was so big, so huge, like double overhead, that no way I was gonna film. Forget it. I just tried to stay alive. That's what this session. That was like epic. That's me right there.
That's when Derek was saying you graduated that day. Graduated to the next level.
yeah. I didn't know what he meant. Was like, but it was, when you're surfing, you just in the moment, you don't think about it, just go for it. And then whatever that second, that moment, you just have to wing it, to make it. Was just in your best capability, not get in trouble out there, and not to go too far in where the reefs are. And we don't know that spot there anyway. And luckily, there's two other wingers out there that was going in and out in circles. So we sort of almost watched them and see how deep they went in and how far they went in. So we just followed them. But Derek was killing it. Go ahead, Derek.
That was fun there.
So I think you had to go upwind a little bit to go through that channel. Yeah. So because they said if you go kind of straight down or straight out, then you would have gone into that shallow reef to the right of this, right?
Correct. Yeah, this is the channel right there.
Yeah. It looks like you found the channel pretty easily and made it out that way pretty easily. Yeah.
Going out is easier. Coming in, you cannot see. All you see is whitewash. So this here, Derek wouldn't back out like this to get me. So just let me know where the channels are. Like yeah, it just, even though you know, but you don't know unless somebody's showing you.
Right.
Yeah, I knew Kevin was coming behind, so I flew out, made sure everything it wasn't like super shallow or sketchy. And then once, caught a wave and rode it in, I said, okay, then I went in and kind of just go, follow me, Kevin, let's go,
Yeah, he
and
came
then
back
we
out to
went
get
out.
me.
Yeah.
Uh,
There's some good waves right at the channel, but the other guys were actually surfing further down the beach, I think by Horners, I think they call it. But yeah, good, super good spot.
yeah.
Super
So and
fun.
that you ended up kind of going down there too, or were you riding just closer to the channel the whole time?
We went further downwind, which is I think they call it Makaiwas or something like that. But
Yeah,
it's
kind of where that other guy's winging in the
yeah,
background is where you ended up in.
yes, yeah. The Kauai crew. Yeah, we went out there and that was super fun. And the wind was blowing from, if you're looking at the video, from the left to the right. So, I guess if we're riding
Right.
regular foot, then you got the wind is in your face or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So and it was pretty side shore, right? I mean, not
Yes.
really. Yeah, pretty side shore wind.
Yeah.
And
So it's pretty kind of perfect for grabbing the wing and like doing turns into the wind, and then once you do like wraps, then you could really not worry about the wing flopping in front of you and when you running it over.
yeah. Yeah, that was a little bit harder at that bay because the wind was straight on shore. So when you're on the wave, it was kind of, always drifting behind you and stuff.
Yes.
So, but yeah, but it definitely had a lot of texture. The water was pretty rough. Yeah. And it was also, I mean, it's December in Hawaii, but it was kind of a little bit chilly. I mean, I was on the beach and I was kind of cold.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
can only
Yeah.
imagine that you guys, well, I guess you were moving around more than I was, so you probably were okay.
Yeah. New spot, new nerves and stuff like that. So you wasn't really that. But when we did get to the sand, yeah, definitely it was like, holy smokes,
Yeah.
why did we go out?
Like, also, we're talking about how we're going to come in too. When I was out there, if anything happened, Derek is like, okay, meet you inside there. I'm like, okay, like just get in. We always talk about also safety. If we have any whistle, we carry whistle with us, and safety. Okay, this is a new spot. If we don't make it, just follow that channel, just get drifted in, and we'll pick you up from there. So always important. Every time when I go out to any spot new, I always ask, the first thing is like, how do I come in? That's the number one thing for me. How do I come in? Anywhere, anywhere I surf. Doesn't matter Kauai or Diamond Head or anywhere that new, even North Shore, even my backyard, here in the North Shore West Side. First thing I ask, how do I come in? That's the most important for me.
Yeah. I mean, that's a really good point. Maybe we should talk about the safety a little bit more. Also, and also the buddy system, kind of talking, going out with someone else and talking about like, what happens if, worst case scenario or whatever, yeah, it's always good to do
We
that.
always talk about that. We always watch each other. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's easier when it's two people. So you only have one person to watch over. But you have two or three people, you have to say, okay, I partner up with you, I partner up with you. So let's say three people, and then one person decided to go in. At least that person communicate with either the other two persons. So
Mm-hmm.
so it's always good to communicate, and especially do a downwinder too. Just say, hey, there's 5, 6 guys. Like, how do you know who's watching who? So always best to partner up every time. Even though the more people, the more so you have to stick with that one person, not more than two. Just one on one, I think is the best.
Yeah.
What's your thought?
Yeah. What about you, Derek?
Yeah, definitely. Just kind of do a little briefing, game plan kind of deal. Like when you come in, not only riding the waves. We ride waves and we wave all the time, so that's kind of second nature. The part that you really don't prepare for is the worst. So just kind of talk about it, and having a lot of friends that's in the firefighters or lifeguards and stuff like that, the emergency stuff, they practice that. So you just kind of over listen to what they say and you just follow it. Just what is that they say? Practice for the worst or something, So when it does happen,
prepare for the worst.
you're prepared already.
Yeah, I mean, you should always have a plan for, if things go bad, then you already got a plan for what you're going to do. You don't have to decide in the emergency what you're going to do, because you already have a plan, you already know what's going to do, so you can stay calm and just follow the plan, basically. And right. I mean, that's really it. I mean, most situations you can usually self-rescue, but still it's good to, even if you have to paddle in and self-rescue, still good to have someone else knowing that you're out there and helping you get in if you need to or whatever, So,
yeah, for sure. Yeah. And then, when we went out to this spot here, there was two other wing foilers. So we kind of went there. We didn't just go in the mix with them. We kind of just watched them and then trailed them. And when we was crossing paths kind of deal, it's like, hey, how's it going, guys? Hey, oh, great spot, whatever. Just making small talk so that, we just more safety wise, we're not just coming in to take over and putting anybody else in harm's way.
So and being respectful of the locals, right?
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Definitely. But I don't know how somehow that guy, he messaged me. He said, hey, you guys supposed to be the drone. Can you send me a clip on that? And I messaged him back. I said, yeah, it's, maybe in a week or so. So when you had that link, I sent it to him. I don't know how the guy found me on Instagram.
Yeah.
He said, was that you on a Santa Claus suit? I never seen that before. I go, no, that's Derek.
And here's Derek. You got the long harness lines. I think you're the first one I ever saw doing that with the basically the wing flying on longer lines over. So that's a cool.
I've seen him done it before many times. That's why I asked that.
I've never seen anyone else do it before Derek, though. I've seen a bunch of other people doing that now, but I think that was your innovation, Derek.
Yeah.
It's still winging. It's not kiting. That's why I asked.
I remember going to Maui and the guys are going, what is that? I mean, you're going to wing or you're going to kite? I go, I don't know. I never kited before. So growing up on the west side of Oahu, we don't have wind. So I never knew, like, flying a kite, like a regular flying a kite. So anytime I get that chance, I'm going to just let it go, have fun. Yeah, it's just another way to, fly around, having fun.
Yeah, and then when the wind's really light, sometimes you can catch a little bit more wind up higher, right?
So video shows it. Yeah. I think Derek. Yeah. Derek.
Yeah.
And then Derek, talk a little bit about your technique. Like when you ride the waves, a lot of times you put the wing you hold that Y handle, put the wing on your shoulder, and you kind of have it backwinded. Yeah, like you like here, like you got the wing on your windward shoulder, basically.
Yeah, every time I like depower or luff it or whatever, I put it on my right shoulder. It's always in my right hand, on my right shoulder, kind of like Captain America with a shield, and then I just ride it that way. And then sometimes when I'm turning into the wind will push me and propel me forward, so I can like do a bottom turn or a top turn or however it is. And then when you're turning back the opposite way, it doesn't kind of flutter anyway. It just stays there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I in the beginning, I think I saw a few people using the Y hands, but I don't see much people do it anymore. So I don't know. Maybe they just got used to holding the front handle, or yeah. But it's just And some of the other guys, they tried it. Like, yeah, you should try it, and they. Like that first couple of times, they just full on yard sale, and they go, "Nope, I ain't doing that again."
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, I've tried kind of doing what you're doing, and it's definitely not easy. But I can see it. It's a little bit like riding with your wing backwinded, but kind of still like kind of luffing a little bit. But yeah, it's a pretty cool technique, and it really allows you to turn the board harder, I think, going both directions, upwind and downwind, without it kind of getting in your way as much. Yeah. Seems
Right.
like.
Yeah. I think because when I used to do the stand up foil, and when I started winging, it was just another extension of the paddle being in my right hand. So I just kind of use that as a some portions of the wave. Like if I want to do a bottom turn or a top turn, I can use the wingtips to pivot off of the bottom turn or the top turn. So it's just a extension of a paddle, and just trying to imitate that. So.
Interesting. So you kind of use the wingtips almost like planting your blade in the turn to your paddle to have like a tighter turn radius. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think oh shucks, I don't know when I did it, but maybe later on can kind of like pinpoint one time where
I saw you doing it earlier. Yeah, when you turn downwind, you kind of drop the tip a little bit to turn around the tip of the wing. Makes sense.
Yeah, and then sometimes when you're going fast down the line and you wanna like kind of do a cutback.
Oh, here's Kevin actually surfing a wave.
Yeah, Kev.
I'm here.
Look, you're surfing.
Yeah, there's the other guys.
Another guy.
Yeah, he wanted the video. I said, yeah, it's at the end. I think this time we're gonna do a double, yeah, Derek.
Yeah, I was riding. Yeah. So
double jump right here.
There's a few times we riding on the same wave where we can do jump on our front side, and a lot of times I go, okay guys, are you guys ready? We're gonna do a jump, especially when there's a drone flying over. Then I'll have the whistle, and I'll say, okay, on 3, I'll blow the whistle. On the third time I blow the whistle, let's do a jump. Just and we're doing it just for the camera, right? So we go 1, we're ready. I said, okay, here's a wave coming. Here's the wind. The wind is strong. I said 1, and then I'll just blow it. Go.
Let's see it right here.
We do it.
Oh, we're still flying out. Oh, we out there.
Right. And that, Kauai is real raw. The ocean out there is like, holy smokes,
Yeah.
A lot of water moving because it's like the top of the chain of the Hawaiian Island. So there's a lot of water moving over there. There's a lot of just energy, raw energy, super, super strong,
Yeah, it definitely doesn't look glassy or smooth at all.
Yeah.
But the drone doesn't do any justice. When you're down in the person, when you in eye level standing, the thing is huge as well. It's like freaking overhead.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah. And the waves were probably pretty steep too. They don't look that steep in the video,
drone
but
doesn't look like anything. But that's the biggest swell I rode in my life. Come on.
Yeah. And that inside shelf on the inside is like it's super slabby. Like when you're coming in, you're taking a drop and you're looking like, oh, bro, I don't want to fall in there, or you don't want to go in further. Following the couple of the Kauai boys, and they would take it way inside, and I would ride it a few times, do a couple of turns, and go, oh, no ways, I ain't going in there. That's crazy, But you see them go in and fly right back out, and then go in. And
it's like,
oh yeah,
it's like going into the graveyard.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I mean, those guys probably know this spot a lot better. It's kind of, I mean, some of our spots are like that too, where if you're new to it, you either super careful or you're gonna run into the reef at some point, till you figure out where the shallow spots are and stuff like that, right?
Right. Yeah. Because at this spot, it's like super deep ocean, and it's like that reef coming down the coast. And on the inside is super shallow, but there's also a lagoon on the inside, and that's where the guys recommended, if the wind dies, then you just fly over, get on a lagoon, and then you can kind of just paddle to the beach. Easy, and it's easier, that way, and mellow.
She stepped on it.
But there wasn't much wind on the inside of that bay, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So staying outside was really good. Oh, there's Kevin.
Yeah. But yeah, like Kevin said, he was able to stay up on foil the whole time without falling in. That's pretty impressive.
Right. Yeah.
That's a
That
pretty
was good.
yeah.
And
I mean,
great
going out there, I
sunset
make sure I had
session.
my gear, make sure I would talk to Derek. He's like, okay, bring one gear. That's it. Bring your best gear, don't fool around. That's why my thing was 70 pounds. I have to take only one wing.
Yeah. Well, and we were kind of like the gear I brought was to race, I brought a pretty small fast foil and a bigger board and a big wing just because I thought, for the race. But
Right.
that didn't even happen, so
Yeah. Well, for sure we're gonna have to do a redo next time.
Yes, I'm in.
Yeah, and
I'm
next year when they have that contest again, we definitely should go again. And like we talked about, maybe rent a house that overlooks Kalapaki Bay so we can watch the contest from our lanai or whatever.
Yeah.
And you can do your camera from there.
Yeah. And then also like in terms of racing, I mean, we were talking to like there's a lot of outrigger canoe races here on Oahu, like the Pa races, and then the what's the other ones?
Kanaka
Ikaika races. So they're all gonna have wing foiling divisions. So we're gonna start doing those races on the wing boards to get some practice, I guess. Yeah.
They need to break down the category too.
Yeah.
Need to what?
They need different categories instead of just one open.
For foiling, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. They kind of trying to toss downwind foiling and wing foiling in one category, which is not totally two different sports.
Correct.
Right. Yeah. We gotta well, it's so new. I mean, on the world tour, they have it where it's disciplined on their own. Yeah, but in Oahu, everybody is still doing canoes or paddling, stand-up paddles, or downwind, regular paddle downwind foiling. But we just gotta add in, just get our feet wet with the winging and all that kind of stuff, and then just see where that takes it.
Yeah,
I know they have events throughout January, February, all the way to April, I believe, and then there's other organizations that do events throughout the year, summertime and whatnot. So yeah, we'll see how it is, and maybe make a slalom course or something where it should be interesting, so where you're gonna have to go upwind or you're gonna have to go downwind, not just downwind, because majority of the races that they have is 8 miles downwinders.
Only downwind, yeah. So and then if you're going only downwind, you can use different equipment. Like basically, you can use a really big wing because as the more you go downwind, the less pressure you have in the wing. But then if you also have to go upwind, then it kind of changes it, because you have to have gear that can go fast going upwind and downwind. So definitely more interesting, I think. Here's one of those slabs you're talking about, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah,
that inside, like when you're watching see how that pivot was in that moment
using
right there,
the wing for the turning.
Yeah, but a lot of times you're watching the videos and you look at it going, wow, why did he kick out? Well, how come he didn't keep riding, or why, and then but you can't really see the inside where it's just gurgling and just dry reef and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Most times it's like you try to push the limit, but you gotta know when to say when, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen you, Derek, like on days when we're like all being super careful at staying outside, and then you're like charging the lip and everything. So for you to be careful, that means something.
It's kind of it's one of the rewards, Is it worth the squeeze? Is the juice worth the squeeze kind of deal? You gotta think.
Yeah. And this was like getting pretty late in the evening, spot you didn't really know that well, so probably better to play it
Yes.
a little bit safe at
And
least.
then make the call before we went out. I said, Derek, 1 hour. That's it. We're going in 5:30. At that time it was winter time, so the sun set early. So I told Derek and Rob, I say, okay, we're coming in 5:30, 1 hour. So I make that call. When I told Derek, it's like, okay, it's time, let's go in. It was a little bit before 5:30. I would say like 10 minutes before 5:30 that I communicated with Derek, say, hey, time's up 5:30. We gotta go in.
Right,
Yeah.
right. How much batteries you had, Rob, on this trip? Do you have like 4 batteries or 6
I
batteries?
had 3 batteries for my drone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so and I think that I'm not sure if I used them all up, but I think I can go at about I think about 40 minutes or 40 or no, wait. Or it's a total of an hour. I think I can go with 3
Oh,
batteries.
nice.
Yeah.
Hour
Back
flying.
to safety. Also,
Mhm.
I was giving my birthday one of the vests, the impact vest. It was from Blue Planet. It was from Pilot John. Thank you, Pilot John. That yeah, I love it. Every time I wing, I use it. I love that thing. When I fall, it's like, it's just different feeling. Just like the safety, you don't realize it until you fall. Then you're like, wow, okay, just that vest really helps. So Blue
Yeah,
Planet has it.
and when you're foiling, a lot of times, like if you're coming down a wave and you're like breaching the foil or something like that, you're falling down pretty hard. Yeah, I mean, because you're coming up down from pretty high altitude, hitting the bottom or whatever. Like, yeah, so it's not just for hitting your gear; it's also just for hitting the water at high speeds, right? The impact vest helps for that, right?
Correct. Yes.
Right.
Makes you feel more confident. Oh yeah,
Yes.
here you can see that the wave is pretty gnarly. You don't want to get caught in that white water on the inside and get pushed into the reef and stuff. Yeah.
Yes. You don't know what's to it. Just that's the other guy, the local boy, is it? Or
Yeah, I think that was when I was coming out with another to switch the battery, and then I think I was flying back out.
Yeah, next time I think it would be best. I mean, shucks, we got to get you out there too. You would have been killing it too because that's just a fun wave. So we just gotta. Unfortunately, you were flying the drone, while we were having fun and stuff like that. But we gotta get someone else to fly the drone, and
Yeah,
we can
I was
all
stoked
go
to
out
just
and
be
have
able
fun.
to watch you guys, and it was a cool experience. And like I said, I was getting pretty cold too, so I was like, oh, I can't believe these guys aren't freezing there,
Yeah,
but that was my epic session in Kauai. That's most
Yeah,
memorable. My whole
I think
that
you
day I
were
surfed
talking
that
about
morning
that
and this.
session though for days and weeks afterwards, and you're
yeah,
still
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about it. So yeah, you
Really
were,
Right.
was really good. Look at
yeah,
that.
Super fun trip. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. And then I think the day after we were like at that condo and sitting in the hot tub for like 3 hours, just talking about foiling
No,
the whole
4 hours.
time. 4 hours.
Four.
Yeah.
I timed it 4 hours.
Yeah,
Look at that, the whitewash all the way in. It's like, oh,
yeah,
you don't know what's
Yeah,
in
on,
there.
on the opposite side of that is the lagoon where you can kind of go in and kind of mellow, but it's just deceiving. That's just all over there is just deep ocean water. That's one of the local boys right there.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then, but if you go straight in from there, then you get into that bay, which pretty much is there's no wind on the inside there, right?
Yeah,
So you
yeah,
kind of have to go back upwind to go to the channel. So, um,
yeah.
so I guess if the wind dies, for example, and you can't get back upwind again, it's probably a pretty not an easy place to get back in, right?
No, no, no. I mean, once you make it over all of that reef, like you're gonna have to flip your wing upside down. And
Hmm.
then, I mean, your foil upside down, your board and stuff like that. Then you make it over. Then the inside is mellow. You just gotta paddle in. But yeah, it's not like not super easy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is fun
Yeah.
waves. I remember
Wow, you make the best of that
riding
right there.
some of
Yeah.
those.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like a 2-in-1.
Unreal.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah, it seems
always,
like it's
always
you can definitely
toss it
tell
on the
that.
shoulder.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you can tell
Oh, go
that
ahead.
during the session you were getting more used to it and kind of figuring out the right place to be and where the wave is breaking and all that, and feeling more comfortable, obviously too. Yeah.
Yeah. Towards the middle and towards the end, I was like, oh yeah, this is actually pretty fun. You know, I mean, it's still hectic, but you could choose the certain waves. You know, this one will back off, or that one will heave. So you could decline. But I do notice, um, like if the wave is gonna just start breaking and there's white water behind you, your best bet is probably to just grab onto the wing and use the wing to pull you out of the situation. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
most times, if you're on foil and you're not winging, if you're just on your regular foil board and stuff like that, the white water will catch you, and then the turbulence will kind of knock you off um, knock you off your board. But if you hold on to the wing and you just ride out of it, you can stay afloat even though you get cavitation on your wings, on your foil. You can ride through that, get through the bubbles, and then come out. And then most times it'll back off, and then you can turn around and jibe or tack, and then get back out to the safe zone kind of deal.
Mhm. Hey, let's talk a little bit about the equipment. I mean, the I guess Derek, you're on a 4 meter, and then there's that whistle on the third
That
whistle.
jump.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But so you're Derek's on a 4 meter and Kevin's on a 6 meter. But what about the
Yeah.
board and the foils you guys were riding?
Go ahead, Kevin.
For me, I was riding my stock Jimmy Lewis 85 liter, the VM, I believe. 85 liter, 5'4", 26Y. So it was a stock board, and that was it, you know. And I had my Takuma Wing Foil, 1210, and with the small tail in the back. So that's what I wrote on the Blue Planet 6 meter, as you said, Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked like it was working good for you.
Thank you.
That
Yeah,
combo.
I just gonna keep that set up. That's it.
Yeah, I was riding like a custom Jimmy Lewis. What size is it? It was pretty new. He just kind of made down. I think it's 4'8" or something like that, 4'9" by 22. And
And
that's my regular SUP and wing and whatever board downwind, I guess.
Same
everything
board you're
board, yeah.
riding right now. One
So
in all.
I think this footage was the day after the contest. So
Yes.
so after that session on Friday, the next day, Saturday, was the contest, and then on Sunday, there was like very light wind, and then we went back to Kalapaki, and the waves were a little bit smaller than on the Saturday, a lot smaller. But you guys still had a pretty fun session, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We went out, I mean, shucks, last day, just go out and have fun.
Yeah, get wet. Had fun.
It was fun. We actually was planning on going up north to Honolulu or some of the other spots, but the traffic was Kauai is just one road, right? So the traffic was crazy. We just said, you know what, let's stay somewhere close to the airport because we all had flights that Sunday, and it turned out to be pretty fun. Met Koa and Eddie over there, and a bunch of the other guys. Roy from Kauai Leash was out. He's catching some great waves and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was. And this guy's is gripping. This prone guys get 2 other guys was proning. It was good.
Yeah.
This was kind of funny. On Kauai, they had like stores painted on the wall. But then we went to this
Hamura.
Hamura Simon.
Hamura Simon. This is Hamura Simon.
And the place was packed even though you couldn't even read the sign. And the food was excellent. Yeah.
Oh, it's unreal. Yeah. It's great.
This is the result right here.
Yeah, there's some heat sheets that you guys sent me. But and then I also have all the footage of the contest, but we kind of already did did a thing about that. But I mean, let's talk a little bit about just the contest. Like, how was it, Derek? You were in the contest, so can you talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, unfortunately, my friends Robert, Kevin, and Eli left to go winging. I was good. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to go with you guys, man. But no, it was pretty massive. The wave. The last time they held the event, it was, I would say, a touch bigger in size, but it was super super windy. Um, this time it was like bigger, but not as much wind, and it was kind of nuts, kind of crazy. You know, some of the guys were making it look super easy, and then some of the guys were making it look super dicey. Like, holy smokes, what's gonna happen here? But it was awesome because nobody, no injuries, no, oh, not nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But it was pretty magical.
Yeah, some of the guys were saying that like on the low tide during the finals, it was so shallow that when they tried to duck dive, they would hit the bottom with their foils. So it's hard to it's hard to duck under the waves because it's so shallow.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was awesome. It was awesome because you could see people from all over just coming and just
That's cool.
having fun. Yeah, that's Eddie's son right there. Cool. He rips. He's like super good in pretty much whatever he does. On
I
the
know.
foil.
He's make me sick. We started same time. I started before him.
Yeah, he's super talented. I mean, he also a lot of times. I mean, I guess he only goes out like maybe once a week when we go out like 5 times in a week, and he's still better than us. Yeah, I guess nice to be young.
He's doing great. Yeah, right. Yeah, if the foil came around years ago, right? I mean, shucks, but this is good because it's kind of rejuvenate. Yes, the stoke in the ocean, right?
Yeah,
correct. I never used the word stoke in my life until I start foiling. Even when I was boogie boarding 5 feet, 6 feet, like I didn't know what stoke was until I start foiling.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I never felt the word stoke again in my bodyboarding life that I been doing it for 40 years until I start foiling. Like, wow, this is what the stoke means. Means stoke. Like, just so happy every time. Unreal.
for sure.
But you know what is funny? You feeling that stoke on tiny waves, not even 5-6 feet. It's only a foot or something like that. You go, oh, you're having the time of your life. What the?
Right. It's like it just opened a different world that you already been in. You've been in the same world, in the same atmosphere, but you just discover something new in the same atmosphere you've been in for 40 years. Yeah. It's like, wow.
So awesome.
Yeah, I found that like foiling, if to me it felt like I could all of a sudden do something that I couldn't do before. Like, it's like learning to fly or something like that. It's like it just feels like almost like you have a superpower, when you can fly on a foil. It's just such an amazing feeling, yeah.
Over the water, yeah. And going back out and stuff like that. Once you can link up your 2-for-1s and stuff like that, that's another stoke. Like like you say, you're riding the waves and you're having fun, and then you do the 2-for-1s or 3 or 4. You're like, oh my gosh, this is awesome.
Yeah. There's so many aspects to it too, and with the wing, I guess we all started, or I mean, Derek and I, we started just stand-up foiling, and then trying to do the downwinders, and then the wings came around, and we got into that.
Right.
But I still go up with the SUP like 3-4 times a week, and each time I go try to get for 2-for-1, try to pump out, and I gassing for air, and I'm telling myself I'm so out of shape, but every time I thought I'm gonna die, like I'm not gonna make it, and the swell is right in front of you. You just gotta pump 2 more times, just 2 more seconds, you can get right that wave, and it just pushes you to the next level. And it's just really you gasping for air every time. You know, even though you've been training for every day, you still get that gas for oxygen.
Yeah. And then those guys make it look so easy. They make it look kind of effortless.
Effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does.
It's so much more work than what it looks like. These guys.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
That's
know what is
that's
harder.
kind of why they do downwinding, you know, easy, because they just pump and pump and pump. I mean, so.
Yeah.
So what is harder, prone or SUP? I know wing is the easiest, you know, less energy. What is more energy, the prone derrick or the SUP paddle? For the winging, for the foiling.
I only stand up paddle for, so I don't know the
I mean,
prone.
but
I can't really speak on that. But every discipline I think is a little bit harder. Winging is super hard, but once you get it, then you know you pretty much just standing there holding the you know your wing and flying around
it's so
and stuff
easy.
like that. Yeah.
I
then
learned,
it becomes easy. Yeah.
Right. I learned at the same time when Hogarth was saying, "Hey, you know, let's do this wing foil." I go, "No, what you talking about? I just started SUP foil with." You know, he said, "Yeah, she's wing foil." I go, "I just started. I just learned." He goes, "No, you should learn at the same time. You know, that's the best." So he convinced me. He said, "Look, this WhatsApp group, somebody's selling this F1 6-meter. Pick it up." So I'm like calling Derek. "Hey, Derek, how am I supposed to get this wing? You know, what am I gonna look for?" It's like, make sure there's no repair on the wing, you know, and it's good. I'm like, buying this wing blind, spending $550 and have no clue what am I doing? What am I buying?
yeah.
You know, at the lagoon, I had to meet somebody. His name was is it Robert? His name is Robert too. And that's how I
remember
started.
you showing up at Kahala like for the first time and being all nervous about going out and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't even go out. I was inside a PD pool, you know.
Yeah.
And it's unreal.
Well, cool. I mean, yes, I think we can wrap it up. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the whole wing foiling part of the trip, and thanks.
That was super
so much
awesome.
for joining me on this, and we'll have to do it again soon. Make some.
Right. Yeah. Guys.
Yeah, let me turn off the screen sharing real quick so we can say goodbye. All right, aloha. Have a good night, guys.
Good night, guys.
All right.
Okay, right on. Take care. Be safe. We'll see you in the water.